Alright, ladies and gentlemen, again, quick update before I go home. It's about 8, half past 8 in afternoon. I'm tired, I want to go home. It's been about 12 hours. So, first of all, excuses. Excuses. Okay, fuel tank update. The issues with my take torch. It was dirty, it was not allowing the gas to flow properly. Then I found out the cooler for the welder, because when you do aluminium, the torch has to be water cooled, otherwise you only able to do a couple of inches of weld before the torch starts to overheat and it starts to weld like crap. So found out my cooler just stopped working, so we had to make another one, very quickly bulged, and this is what we have. There is a water there. There is a 12-volt small auxiliary water pump from Audi A3, I guess, from Hydric Metrics. 12 volts, so no mains, just a small battery, couple of wires. Really bulged, but guess what? This thing actually works better than the original cooler, which I had to throw out. So, apart excuses, it's been some time I haven't touched the take for aluminium. I lost my hand, then obviously all these issues, and so the welds on my tanks are pretty crap. It started to weld, but it was like, okay, you know what, there's no point to pay any attention to make them nice. Just make them strong enough, make them so it doesn't leak. Get this fuel tank done, run the tests, this is a first prototype. Once it's done, then we're gonna build, when I have more time, a proper one, probably maybe in carbon, but maybe still in aluminium. I don't know. We'll see. Let's do the first step first, and then we'll see what happens. So, I'm first of all gonna show you the way it looks like from the side. This is not the way it looks. So the seat is down, and this is gonna be. Hope you can see it down there. I don't like it pointy up. It looks crap. So it needs to be like this. So this is the shape. Okay, which I like it, blah blah blah, and the sheet has this. Obviously, there is a hatch there, so this we have to go lower a little bit, lower there, and so you got 3 points of contact, and they all gonna touch once this is where it should be. So let me remove this and let me go through this welds first. Couple of bollocks. It started, wait, not all horrible, but mostly they are crap. Like when I started here and I had the gas problems and I overheated, it was like, you know what, I don't care anymore. Let's just do it. The only kind of good-ish welds that I came up with was under the pump. So it's the only ones they are actually all right. You can't see them because they're under the bike and they're gonna be covered in dirt. Now, all right. So the fuel pump is here. The fuel sender and all the stuff, the original one, so all my clocks works and everything. This is the same one I had originally in the tank, obviously. Now, if you pay attention, that there is like a step, so the fuel pump and the flange goes inside there and is hidden behind this step. Nothing sticks out, but the only thing that sticks out is the electrical plug, sticks out roughly where my finger is, to my finger, and then there is a plastic tube that I'm simulating with my finger, so you can understand what I'm talking about. Is roughly there, which is gonna go towards the engine, obviously, because there's nothing there to damage it. However, I made this step outside as well. This is big. I'm gonna do like a sleeve that goes on the top and is gonna cover that pipe there, that plastic pipe, because let me just grab it. Oh, there you go. The mounts, we have the mounts on the top. We're gonna show you from the. I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna show you better. But the mounts on the bottom, they're gonna be like this. So this top one, top section, top surface is gonna grab as much fuel tank as possible. It's gonna be roughly like this shape, okay. And as you can, if you pay attention, the fuel pump, the pipe that I told you, which is the pipe from the fuel pump, is there, is right behind it. So physically, by the structure, by the fold, whatever you want to call it, it is already protected. However, stuff could go from underneath, from, I don't know, some stones flying, and it's just a plastic. I'm gonna show you actually. It's a plastic tube going out from the pump. The pump itself is very small. It's this one here, and if this breaks, obviously we're going nowhere. We have no fuel pressure and the bike will not run. And then we have to push it long way. So I'm not really keen on that. I'd rather sorting the problem now, protecting that, have this kind of sound like aluminium cover. So no matter what happens, this, well, I'm hoping it will never break. So that's the story with the welds. Well, actually, and then I've done something stupid, really stupid. It was like, okay, this is the only weld that is gonna be seen properly, because I've got the fuel cap here, and this is gonna be like this. Okay, so this needs to be seen. I was like, okay, let's do it properly, and then I forgot about something very important. Now, these fuel caps, obviously they were right from China, like everything else. Aluminium well-done one, 2.5 inch. They are kind of covered. If you see, this aluminium is clean. This aluminium from inside is like chromed, kind of, not chrome, but it's like the surface. I don't know what they use. If they polish them with something, I don't know what it is. But you have to clean the surface before welding it up. Otherwise, it will look shit like this. It's absolutely crap, you know, and it makes it very, very difficult to weld. I already went, you know, scrap with this, kind of like welds, they're not, you know, what they should be. But that, this is probably the worst part. It's like, oh, come on. Oh, however, this is a prototype, and then once we know this is working as we want it, the shape, the strength and everything is good, then we're gonna produce obviously the final product. If it's gonna be in carbon or in aluminum, I don't know, we'll see. Now let's move inside. Now, as the flange for the flange welded in for the fuel pump, blah blah, that's obviously the space for the wheel to travel up. This one here is for the chain. Now the way I work this out, and actually let me say this, the fuel tank has to be as low as possible. I want it as low as possible. The biggest section of the section where then we have fuel as big as possible and as low as possible. The way we work this out is obviously the chain has to pass and simulate the full travel of the back wheel. So I remove the shock, jacked it up completely up till obviously the bump stop, simulating the bump stop, which I come back to that because it's something else more important to say. And then we see how much space we have between the swing arm, that's going to obviously be up, and the fuel pump and the shock absorber. The shock absorber obviously is slightly higher. I could go just there and make it very simple, but I will lose quite a lot of fuel. I'll be, I don't know, 1.5 liters at least by going up. So I would rather, I prefer doing this, make this kind of like an insert for the shock absorber to work, because this, again, the shock absorber moves, not up and down, but that swings around the pivot point. So the reservoir, this one here, moves up and down a little because it swings around that bolt there. But again, more space than needed. Same for the chain. And when it's fully up, the chain may go down there. I'd rather go inside there than actually having like a slap from the chain to the fuel tank, because it's aluminium, so better be safe. Now inside, I still want to, apart obviously making these triangulated reinforcements and mounts and all that stuff, I want to make some kind of like a triangular stuff from these mounts here, because obviously they bolt straight to the frame. That's going to be bolted to the frame, but I want something triangulated. You see the last point where the seat sits and the rest is here. So I want to kind of make like a triangular structure from here to there, and maybe one from here to there. The one from here to there, it could be a plate of aluminium, because I may use it to stop the fuel from shaking and, you know, moving too much when it's almost full. Same I put there. Again, shitty words, but who cares? It's inside. So that's what I want to do, just make a structural reinforcement. Yes, I'm going to add a few grams, but who cares, you know? It's better to have it stronger and slightly heavier than too light and, you know, having this left in the wood somewhere. What else? Oh, yeah, the travel. Now, the travel, what I have now between the wheel, the tire, and the fuel tank is actually 27 centimeters, 370 mil, which is much more than I have now. The back travel of this wheel now is about 230 to 35 because I increased the length of the swing arm tiny bit. Let's call it 230, and I really don't like it. As you know already, let me put the phone here. Now, first of all, I apologize. Well, first of all, I already dip into this. I'm sorry, I'm doing this with the phone. I'm not gonna do it on the GoPro because I have no time to edit it because I'm working every day till late, this and work. So the phone, it zooms in automatically. There's no panoramic view, so everything is very close, and I have small space around the bike, so everything is close. I'm sorry for that. Now, back to the suspension. This is 230 mil travel on the back, 290 on the front. I don't like it. This has to be improved. So once I've done all this stuff, I will be probably after the race season, because I will have no time before, I want to increase the wheel travel to 290 on this. It's not actually that difficult as you think it's possible. All we have to do is to redesign this linkage there, that one there. So basically this bolt, to make it very simple, it will have to be a bit more this way, okay? So we're going to increase the travel against the work of the shock absorber. Now ideally you want a longer shock absorber, but it could be done this way as well. It doesn't have to be this way, because with a longer shock absorber you could move that point higher, but I want to keep that original on the frame and design one of these, make 2 or 3 of them in CNC just to test and see how it goes. Of course we have to change the spring ratio, because the longer the travel, the harder the spring will have to be to have the same effect, but it is what it is. For now it's fine, it'll be fine. Just with the softer spring, this I know will be fine. Fine enough. Right, so let me remove the seat and show you what's underneath. That's nice. This is the match just with the cord, so we're able just to pull this and open the seat, and that's the fuel tank from the top. So it's kind of like, it looks like fused to the frame, but it's not, because obviously we have these. Most this is not fully in. Yes, I know the words are shit, but who cares for now. And that's it. Oh yeah, so the thing is, we were hoping with Steve, because I wanted 20 liters of fuel, which is kind of like, looks like that. And initially when I made this one here, it was like, yeah, easy, this is gonna be 20 liters. Then we removed the front section because I decided to hide electrics and a battery in there. It's like, okay, this is at least 2 liters, maybe 2.5 liters. So 20 liters is not gonna be very realistic. Maybe, but now the further I go forward, the more I shrink this. This is actually slightly more narrow that I've designed now one. And then obviously adding this is removing some fuel. Adding this is removing some fuel. This one here I made it square because it will be pain in us to make it round like this all the way down, because it's like 2 corners on 2 axes, and I don't want to spend hours and hours to beat this up to the shape of, just to save, I don't know, maybe 1/4 of a liter of fuel. So who cares? However, something that I like, I don't like the, Jesus, everything is falling off. So what I don't like is obviously my welds, because I went, kind of like scrapyard fabrication, instead of making it nice because it's my bike. So again, I have to do it with one hand. Now, if you pay attention, let me put everything in shape. If you pay attention, however, the fuel tank, the shape of the fuel tank is the shape of this small fender, even underneath. And then it's actually, everything is the shape of the seat, which actually that's why I made it a little bit more narrow. I want to be able to swing my legs there and not catching on it. So this is what I like, the shape of it. It's not too wide. It may look like wide on the camera, but trust me, it's not. Yeah, I like it. I like the shape of it. I like the shape of the sheet as well. It's huge. Now, someone commented on the previous video that I should use a dirt bike like a Yamaha 450 seat because it's more narrow and it will give you more legroom, because being narrower, your legs go straight down instead of bit of an angle. And this is true. But if you pay attention, this frame is actually fairly wide, but it suits this seat perfectly, you know. Apart obviously that front section, there's nothing you can do. But once covered and I sit on it, it really doesn't bother me. You can barely feel it because it's kind of like an angle. It's not like on the same height. It's like the angle there makes it kind of forget about it. I know it seems strange and it looks like it's not what I'm saying, but I was on it, I put my boots on it, I had my knee braces on, and just, you barely notice that. So I thought that's going to be a problem, but it really isn't. Sure, I have to test the bike off-road, blah, blah, run it, and then we're going to see. But so far, I think that is not going to be a problem whatsoever. Of course, the zip tie is not the mount. Mounts there that I have to, you can see them there. I have to put something on the frame to, you know, lock at the front and then latch on the back like original. So, yeah, I think that's it. I'd rather making this quick video, this quick update. If not, there's going to be a lot of stuff accumulated. So, step by step, as I promised, this is how we getting on. I'm sorry that you see the mess I have here. This is my Acerbis fuel tank, old one. This is how it looks like from the outside, roughly. There's going to be a lot of work, obviously, to close these windows here, but again, this is, I need this access to make this frame inside as well, so a bit of time. These, once you push it, once this goes down, it will go down exactly as I wanted. So everything is working out all right, apart obviously my dodgy welding, which is really crap, but I've said that 10 times now, so you already know it. That's it. Happy with how it's coming. I can't wait to put it back on the road. To be honest, I'm supposed to be working on that engine there today, so tell no one. But again, well, I'm gonna compensate. You know, I'm working today, maybe even tomorrow, finishing this tank. I really want to see it finished and done, and then I'm gonna spend probably whole weekend, Saturday and Sunday, on that, because I'm supposed to be working during the week on that and then doing my bike on the weekend. So if I spend time now on the bike, I will have to compensate and throw the time from the weekend on the actual work. So yeah, that's it. It's, I don't know, 8:30 or something like this, so time to pack up and go home. I'll see you soon. I'm gonna update as soon as the fuel tank is ready, and maybe we can fire up. See you soon.